Hello, welcome back to some more algebraic fractions. So as usual, to warm up, I have a question for you, and that's what does the runner-up in the Miss Universe contest get? What does the runner-up in the Miss Universe contest get? Well, let's do some algebraic fractions, and then we'll find out what her prize is. Okay, so dividing fractions. We've looked at adding basic fractions. We looked at multiplying, dividing. Remember, what's the rule? How do we divide fractions? The shortcut is we flip the second one and multiply. So I always recommend rewriting it first before you start trying to do too much. So this would be x over 3 times 2 over y. All right, remember we flip the second one, that's the shortcut. We all know why it works. And now what am I going to do? I multiply this, I check to see if there's anything I can cancel. Numerator and denominator, there's nothing here to cancel. So the answer is going to be 2x over 3y, nothing to cancel there. Okay, you go ahead and do this one. Okay, I always recommend rewrite the problem before you start doing anything. When they start getting more complicated, you'll see why that's so important. So it's times y over 6. Multiply the numerators. Check if there's anything I can cancel. If there's nothing we can cancel, we multiply numerators, multiply denominators. Okay, another example. Remember, whole numbers are fractions, right? This is 4 over 1. So I have 4 over 1 times, flip the second fraction, 2y over x, and multiply this out, I get 8y over x. Remember, do not start canceling until after you've switched the fraction. Right? Do not, common mistake, people see the 4 and the 2 and they think they can cancel that. No, because we're not multiplying yet. We cancel when we multiply. So change it into a multiplication first. All right, we cannot do that. So do not cancel anything until it's a multiplication problem. Okay, pause the video and you try this one. Okay, 2 is 2 over 1. I'm going to rewrite the fraction, so it's x over y times 1 over 2. Nothing to cancel. I get x over 2y is my solution. Okay, another example. Again, rewrite it. So this is 3 over x times x over 7. Now, before I multiply, is there anything I can cancel? Are there any common factors in the numerator and denominator? And there are. I have an x in the denominator and x in the numerator. X divided by x is simply 1. So now I multiply, I'm going to have 3 in the numerator. 3 times 1 is 3, and in the denominator, 1 times 7 is 7. That's my simplified answer. Okay, you pause the video and you try this one. Okay, first step is always going to be to rewrite it. X squared over 3y. This is going to be times. And this is going to be 9 over x y squared. So before we multiply, is there anything we can cancel? Well, yes, I see a 3 in the denominator and a 9. Divide by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. Is there anything else? Yes, I see an x in the numerator and an x in the denominator. There's 1x in the denominator. That's going to cancel with 1x in the numerator. Nothing left to cancel. So up top, I have x times 3, which is 3x. In the denominator, I have 1 times y squared, which is y cubed. Okay, again, you will mess up your answer if you cancel first. If we look at the original problem, I started canceling those y's in the original problem because there's a y in the numerator and denominator. Change it to multiplication first before you cancel anything. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and do these in your book. Okay, the first one, I'm going to get ax over 6. Okay, the next one, I'm going to get 2y over 7x. There's nothing to simplify here. The next one, I'm going to get y over 5x. Again, I'm leaving out the work. I recommend rewriting it, especially when they start getting more complicated. And the last one is going to be 5x over 18. Okay. All right, go ahead, pause the video and try these this time. Okay, this first one, I'm going to end up with 5/4. The x's are going to cancel. The next one, they start getting more complicated. I highly recommend rewriting it. This is 2x over y times x over 4y. Okay. The only things that cancel are the 2 and the 4, leaving me with 1 and 2. So I'm left with x squared over 2y squared. Okay. The next one, I'm going to end up with, if I do this, I'm going to end up with 12x over 8y. Again, that can simplify. I should have canceled probably before actually multiplying. Divide top and bottom by 4. I get 3x over 2y. Okay, and the next one, again, it would probably be really good to rewrite this one. It looks a little more complicated. Times y squared z over 6x. Okay, look for things to cancel. I can cancel the z's. Okay, I have 1x up top. Cancels 1x up there, leaving me with x cubed, and that's it. So my answer is going to be x cubed, y cubed for my numerator. My denominator looks like that's 3 times 6, which is 18. Okay, let's move on. Okay, now they start to get a little more complicated. I'm adding fractions. I don't have a common denominator, so I need to get a common denominator. So what's my common denominator going to be? We're going to find out, usually with algebraic fractions, our common denominator, which is our lowest common multiple, we're usually going to get by just multiplying them together. So I'm going to multiply my common denominator is going to be x minus y times x plus y. Okay, that's my common denominator. I'm going to just multiply x plus y, put the brackets there to make sure you're multiplying correctly, times x minus y. Now here's a very important tip. Do not expand the brackets in the denominators when you do this, because we might be able to cancel things afterwards, and we can only cancel factors. So I want to leave the bottom factorized. So I'm going to multiply out the top, right? I'm going to multiply out my brackets, 3 times minus y, 3 times x, and over here I'm going to do 4 times x and 4 times y. I am not going to multiply out the bottoms. So my bottom is going to be, my denominator is going to be x minus y, x plus y. Up top I'm going to have 3x minus 3y. Okay, that's what I get from this. Okay, and then I'm going to have plus 4x plus 4y. Okay, and that's what I get from this. Okay, so now I still need to simplify. I can simplify my numerator, right? There's nothing to do with the bottom. Don't cancel it. So up top, 3x plus 4x is 7x, minus 3y plus 4y is plus y, and this is all over x minus y, x plus y. Do not, again, it won't be wrong if you expand the denominator. It's extra work, and this time there's nothing to cancel because I can't factorize the numerator. After you simplify, you should always check. Can you factorize the numerator? Can you find a common factor? I can't. So that's my final answer. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and try this one. Okay, first step, I'm subtracting fractions. I need a common denominator. I don't have a common denominator. Most of the time, 99.9% of the time, common denominator is just going to be multiply the two denominators together. So this denominator is x minus y. This one is x plus y. So over here, I'm going to multiply this one by a plus y over a plus y. That's simply 1. And over here, I'm going to multiply by x minus y over x minus y. Okay, now I have a common denominator for both fractions. My common denominator is x minus y times a plus y. Don't multiply out the denominators. Leave them that way. The numerators, yes, you're always going to multiply the numerators, so because you're going to have terms that you can combine. So let's go ahead and do this. So my fraction, my denominator for my answer is going to be x minus y over a plus y. That's my common denominator. all right? And up top, I need to multiply out my brackets. So I'm going to get x squared minus xy, all right? And over here, don't forget this minus sign, all right? Just think about that as a minus y. So it's going to be minus ay, and it's going to be minus y squared. Minus y times a and minus y times y. Now, we need to see if there's anything in the numerator we can simplify, and there's not. There's no like terms up there, so that's it. We're done. That is our answer. You sure? What do we have up top? We have 4 terms. Should we try to factorize that? How will we factorize 4 terms? Factorize by grouping. Remember that? So we need to try. We don't know if we're going to end up with common factors, but we may be able to do something here. So if I look at the numerator, I have x squared minus x in green. They have a common factor. I can factor out an x, and that would leave me with x minus y. Okay, if I look at the purple, I have a, what do they have in common? A minus y, which would leave me with what? A plus y. Okay, they don't have a common factor, so no, it's not going to work. All right, factorizing by grouping is not going to work here. So we don't need to worry about it. We were done. We need to check though, right? We always need to go ahead and check. Okay, here's another example. They're just going to get a little more work. Not harder, just a little more work to do. Again, different denominators. What do I need? I need a common denominator. So my common denominator is going to be multiplying those two together. So I'm going to over here, I'm going to have x minus 4. Right, multiply it by the same thing. And over here, I'm going to have I'm going to put brackets around the top because I need to make sure I'm multiplying the whole thing. So here we go. All right, my denominator is going to be x minus 4 times x plus 5. Okay, don't multiply out the denominators. The numerators, yes, we're going to need to multiply out the numerators. Why? Because we're going to be adding 2 different things. The denominator, we're not adding anything. We just have a single denominator. We're going to have, so this is where our multiplying out starts coming in handy. So I need to multiply out those 2 brackets, right? So what am I going to get? I'm going to get x squared minus 4x plus 6x is plus 2x, and then minus 24. Then my other bracket is going to be x squared minus 2x plus 5x is plus 3x and minus 10. Okay, is there anything I can combine up top? Yes, x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 2x plus 3x is 5x. Minus 24 minus 10 is minus 34. And this is all over x minus 4 times x plus 5. Okay, and the last thing is we need to check, are there any common factors, numerator and denominator? I've got my factors for the denominator, x minus 4x plus 5. I have something that's unfactorized up top. I need to check because I might be able to factorize the top with a common factor with the bottom. In this case, if you check it, again, we talked about our little shortcut. If I do 2 times minus 34, that's minus 68. Is there anything that adds to 68, or multiplies rather, to 68 and adds to 5? If you go through and check that, you'll see the answer is no. But don't forget to check because sometimes you might be able to. Okay, your turn. Pause the video and simplify this fraction addition. Okay, when you do these, really put those brackets around there, especially with your numerators, to make sure that you're multiplying the whole bracket by the whole bracket. So our common denominator is going to be x minus 1 times x minus 2, which is multiply the 2 denominators together. So my denominator for my final answer is going to be x minus 1 because they have the same denominator, and when I add them now, my answer is going to be that common denominator. So up top, I'm going to need, again, do not expand the denominators. I'm going to expand the numerators though. So up top, x times x is x squared, and minus 1x plus 3x is plus 2x. Minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. All right, that takes care of this expansion here. Okay, now I'm going to do this expansion here. X times x is x squared. 1x minus 2x is minus x, and 1 times minus 2 is minus 2. Okay, so that's my purple expansion. Okay, now I need to combine my like terms. So again, my denominator is still going to be x minus 1. Up top, x squared plus x squared is 2x squared. 2x minus x is minus x. And minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5. Okay, our last step is, are we going to be able to simplify this? Are there any common factors? I know the factors of the denominator, x minus 1, x minus 2. Can I factorize? I don't know right now the factors of the numerator. Can I factorize it? The answer is no. 2 times minus 5 is minus 10. Is there anything that multiplies to 10 and adds to 1? No. 10 is 1 times 1, or 1 times 10, or 2 times 5. None of those are going to add to 1. So there's nothing else I can cancel. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and go ahead and simplify these fractions. Okay, first one, we need a common denominator. My common denominator is going to be multiplying them together, xy. So this is going to give me y over xy plus x over xy, which equals x plus y over xy. Nothing to simplify there. Okay, the next one, my common denominator is going to be b times d. Just multiply the two denominators together. So up top, I'm going to have AD. Over the top, I'm going to have BD. This gets confusing. My B's and the D's, I'm going to subtract. Up top, I'm going to have BC. Again, a good habit to write your letters alphabetically. And on the bottom, I'm going to have BD. Okay, I have a common denominator. So my final answer is going to be AD minus BC over BD, just over BD. Okay, and again, there's nothing I can factorize. There's no common factors up top, so that's it. Okay, go ahead, pause the video, and give these ones a go. Okay, here we go. So I need a common denominator. I have an x plus 3, x plus 2. I'm going to multiply those two together. Okay, so up top, I'm going to have 2x plus 4, and I'm going to have 3x plus 9, and that's all going to be over x plus 2 times x plus 3. I can simplify some things up top. 2x plus 3x is 5x. 4 plus 9 is 13. All over x plus 2, x plus 3. I can't factorize the numerator, so I'm done. Okay, for the next one, I have an x plus 4 denominator and an x minus 4. I'm going to multiply them together to get my common denominator. So I'm going to have to multiply up top. Again, I'm not multiplying the bottoms up top. 7x times x is 7x squared. 7x times minus 4x is minus 28x. Over on the other fraction, I'm going to have minus, remember that's a minus 2, minus 2x, minus 8. And this will all be over my common denominator, x minus 4, x plus 4. Yes, there's some things I can tidy up top. 7x squared minus 30x minus 8, and that's all going to be over x minus 4 times x plus 4. You need to go ahead and check up top to see if you can factorize that, and I think we'll see that we can't factorize the numerator, so there's going to be nothing to cancel. Okay, last one for adding and subtracting fractions. Go ahead and pause this and give this one a go. Okay, I have one denominator of x, one of x minus 5. My common denominator is multiplying them together. So over on the left side, when I multiply the numerator, I'm going to end up with x squared minus 5x is minus 10x. I'm skipping a couple steps. And then on the right side, it's going to be minus, remember that's a minus x squared. and that's all going to be over x times x minus 5. Okay, up top, the x squared minus x squared, so I'm going to end up with minus 10x plus 25, and that's all over x times x minus 5. Now, I can factorize the numerator, so if we can, it's a good idea. They both have a common factor of 5, don't they? So that would give me minus 2x plus 5 over x times x minus 5. But there's nothing that I can cancel. So in this case, you could have either left your answer like this, the purple or the green. Either one would be fine. But again, I think it's a good habit. If you can factorize the numerator, factorize it, because it might. You never know when it might end up having a common factor. Okay, so that's taking care of adding, subtracting fractions. As you can see, they can get quite complex, but if our factorizing and our expanding bracket skills are really good, then these are going to be no problem. The key is looking for that common denominator. Don't expand the denominator either. So the last thing is, what does the runner-up in the Miss Universe contest win? She wins a constellation prize. See you next time.